Okay, wait, give me a second.
You gonna stop it or what?
No, I don't need to stop it.
So this myth is saying that ketogenic diets are for everyone. Well, as we know, no diet is for everyone, and some people have better blood sugar control than what others do, and so they are able to handle a few more carbohydrates than what other people would. The ketogenic diet is not going to harm you at all, and so if you are struggling with your weight or with your blood sugars or with any other type of brain-related illnesses, then it's definitely something worth trying. But no, I don't believe that it's necessary for everybody. I will be doing a post which will actually describe the difference between going paleo, low carb and keto, so remember to keep an eye out for that video. It will all depend on your personal requirements as to how low carb you need to go and how high fat you need to go. So like with everything, you need to monitor it to you and do your own N=1 experiment. Okay, one of the biggest ketogenic myths out there is that the ketogenic diet is going to be lacking in nutrients. And this is just so not true, because a good formulated ketogenic diet does include our leafy green vegetables, it does include our grass-fed beef, and not to mention all of those amazing fats that we have available to us, like lard and tallow and ghee and all of those sort of fats. Now these fats contain high levels of vitamin D's, vitamin A, all of the fat-soluble vitamins, and also because of the green vegetables we are getting plenty of vitamins with that. Now if you are on a very high fat, low carb ketogenic diet, then you need to understand that even though you're not consuming a great amount of vegetables, there are also a lot of vitamins and minerals within the meat that we consume, especially if it is pasture raised or grass fed, right? So you need to recognize that meat itself, there are many cultures around the world that do consume pure meat and fat diets. So what you need to do is to understand this and also to recognize that there are really only 3 vitamins that are kind of lower in the ketogenic diet than in the other diets, and that would be vitamin C, vitamin E and vitamin K, and that's because these are found predominantly in the green vegetables, right? But the thing is that what we don't realize is that vitamin C is actually an interesting vitamin, because the more carbohydrates you consume, the more vitamin C you're going to require, because they go along the same pathways. So by not consuming so many carbohydrates, you're not actually requiring as much vitamin C. Now on top of that, you've also got to realize that the SAD diet, or the high carbohydrate diet, actually contains phytic acid, and phytic acid binds all of your minerals and leaches it out of the body. And this is why we need to get rid of the grains and the legumes, because of the fact that it does contain this phytic acid and can be damaging to your body. So guys, no, the ketogenic diet is not low in vitamins and minerals, so that's not something that you need to worry about. Just make sure that the plan that you are doing is a well-structured, well-formulated plan. Okay, so myth number 3 is probably one of the biggest myths that we have out there, and that's that the ketogenic diet, all that fat that we consume in the ketogenic diet, is going to give us heart disease. Okay, this is what is scaring us from consuming more fats. Well, the good news is, if you look at all the research that's coming out, saturated fat has actually been found to be very protective for the heart and not damaging as it was once thought. There is a lot of new research showing that it's not fats that actually contribute to heart disease, except when we're talking about trans fats. Okay, these are the hydrogenated fats and the vegetable oils that we are consuming. If we're talking about high saturated fat products, like butter and lard and ghee and tallow, as long as they are good quality and they're not hydrogenated, then these are actually going to be beneficial for your heart as well as for the rest of your body, especially your brain. The brain thrives on ketones, which I'll be going through at a later stage. But anyway, guys, so don't be worried about the ketogenic diet causing problems with your heart. If you do want to learn more about that, I have got a whole host of research studies that I post 3 times a week on my Low Carb Keto Living website that you can go and take a look at, and some of these have information on this. Plus I have podcast episodes which cover this as well under my Low Carb Keto Living podcast. There is so much information out there, and you don't need to be scared about fat causing the heart disease, and so that is a pure myth. Okay guys, I bet you have tried the ketogenic diet and you've found that for the first couple of days you feel pretty gross, right? I know I did when I first started. But you know what? This is something that we call the keto flu. And the keto flu is basically your body getting used to burning fat for fuel. We've been consuming so many carbohydrates and so many grains and so many sugars over our lifetime that our body can only burn sugar for fuel. So can you imagine, all of a sudden we've just taken these sugars out of our diet and our body has our brain and our body has nothing to fuel itself. So the first couple of days you might feel a bit dizzy, you might feel a little bit nauseous, you might feel really tired. There are a lot of different things that can happen. Make sure that you're consuming plenty of good quality salt and some magnesium. Okay, these are really important. Make sure that you're drinking plenty of water during those first couple of days, and that will really help you to minimize the keto flu. So anyway guys, just because you feel bad for the first couple of days, that doesn't mean that keto's bad for you. Okay, that just means that your body is really trying to get itself into that fat burning state and into learning to transition to burning fat instead of burning sugar. Now this may take a couple of days for some people that are severely insulin resistant and have real blood sugar issues. It could take a couple of weeks. So be patient and you will feel great really shortly. Okay, thanks a lot. Let's get on to keto myth number 5.